find my agenda.
We're good.
Okay, thank you. Calling to order the council meeting, City of North Bend, Washington for March 16th, 2021 by virtual meeting, as we have been doing now for the past year. Would the clerk please confirm the roll?
All council members are present, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Here.
And thank you. On our consent agenda tonight, we have just 3 items: minutes, payroll, and checks. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
A motion.
Oh,
I believe I heard motion by Mr. Godhealth, second by Mr. Elwood. Was that
I'd
correct?
like to make a friendly amendment.
Friendly amendment. Would you
Yes.
like to pull an item?
I'd like to move items 4 and 5 to consent agenda.
All right. Got a suggestion, a motion to move items number 4 and 5 from tonight's agenda to the consent.
I did have one comment that I did want to do on number 4, but I can make it, in between if you want. It was just really just something for us to watch based upon the way the motion was put and the fact that we had some costs that we should be looking at next time that we kind of watch.
Huh?
That was the only reason it's on there.
Okay, did you want us to go ahead then, and you agree with the motion you made the motion to approve, so I'll look to you, Alan, for agreement for the amendment to add the items.
Go ahead. I'll bring it up at another time.
Okay, so we have the motion. I think in this case, because we're moving items to the consent agenda, does that take a vote, Mr. Kenyon?
I would
Yes.
say yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I've got a motion by Mr. Garcia, second by Mr. Godhealth to move items 4 and 5 on tonight's agenda onto the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. It is unanimous. And then back to the main motion to approve tonight's consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Good move, Chris.
There's no public.
That moves us right along. Yes, and should be clear that we had those items just in case someone from the public wanted to speak on them or had comments. So I agree, this is a good motion. With that, Dawn, did anyone from the public end up showing? Do we have anyone for citizen comments?
We do have one person from the public in attendance. He has not indicated in the chat box that he would desire to speak at this time.
Okay. Pause just a few seconds if the person wants to click in the chat box.
He is here as an observer only.
Okay. All right. Then with that, we will move on to committee reports and commissions. Planning Commission, Parks Commission, Economic Development, Regional Committees. Let's start off with Ms. Miller, Community and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Today we met CED and we had a continued discussion with regard to a possible community mural art event that would be featured on a new clarifier at the wastewater treatment plant. We were also given a summary of a legislative bill out of Olympia relating to short-term rentals. And we did some housekeeping relating to building code updating for swimming pools and spas. And Rebecca kindly went thoroughly over the 2021 docket for a comprehensive plan and code amendments.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Godhealth, Finance and Administration.
Thank you. And this is actually a good point. So Finance Administration met electronically. That's why the motion number 4 was put on the agenda as opposed to consent agenda. My concern is we had a lot of costs because additional costs with the consultants because of multiple presentations of the same presentation to multiple people. I saw the presentations at least 3 times. I'm sure everybody else. My only point in trying to say this is next time we should try to coordinate, because that shouldn't be a reason why we're paying more to our consultants because we can't coordinate presentations. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Colon, Public Health and Safety.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We did not have a meeting this month, and so I have nothing to report.
Thank you very much. Mr. Loudenback, Transportation Public Works.
Thank you, Your Honor. We met on February the 23rd, and one of the items that was on the agenda that was subsequently moved to the consent agenda was the primary topic on the grinder pumps. Mr. Tucker made a nice presentation on that. We heard from Mr. Stonebridge on the upcoming air gap quality study in our water system. We also heard about the new capital improvement program update from Mr. Rigos. And we talked about a new contract for Blue Line concerning the Mount Si Bendigo roundabout project. And we will be meeting next Tuesday at 4 o'clock. That's it, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Mr. Pro Tem Garcia.
Well, while I'm not a member of the Get Her Done Committee, my report will be short. We last met to discuss the sewer rates, and where I got to see that presentation for the one and only time, which is probably what I would suggest that happens with the water rates if it's not too late. We could talk about them at committee, but maybe we don't have the consultants come to do a presentation at each meeting. Our next meeting is next Tuesday. No, what is today? 16th.
Yeah,
Next Tuesday, the 23rd at 7 p.m.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Godhelf, we'll go back to you, Eastside Fire and Rescue Board.
There we go. Let's start that over again. Don't know when I got muted. Sorry about that. Eastside Board of Directors regular meeting was March 11th, as it's like everybody else was virtual. The highlight from our consent agenda was we approved 2 LOAs with our collective bargaining agreements, and hopefully moving on to getting an agreement fairly soon with them. Jamie Formasano did a presentation on a slideshow on celebrating Women's History Month by recognizing the history of the women in fire service and honoring contributions of 31 women who represented Eastside Fire and Rescue. We had our first meeting as our nonprofit, so that was also discussed that as March 1st, we became a nonprofit, which we all talked about. There was more discussion about Eastside Fire and Rescue and Issaquah City Food Bank co-locating together. There was discussion on mobile vaccination coverages, the intent to have a mass vaccination site at Lake Sammamish State Park, and then continue to help with some of the regional other regional locations around. But the biggest issue for them right now is getting the vaccines for that clinic. And I know there's several that have been trying to get it and they're limited on it. We talked about the fact that we've joined a regional recruitment effort. So if you want to become a member of the fire services, you can take 1 test, and that would be good for 6 different agencies across Western Washington, in an effort of lowering our recruitment costs and providing more candidates out there. And regular business, we basically signed a interlocal agreement with Sammamish and Issaquah to provide that mass vaccination site. And then we signed an agreement to get some more money from the Department of Ecology to do some more study on the PFAS situation. And then we reviewed the activity that the chief had been doing as interim Mercer Island Fire Chief. And that was all we had. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Deming, Parks Planning and EDC.
At the Planning Commission's March 11th meeting, the Planning Commission completed their review and provided a recommendation of approval on the form-based code for the downtown area. This followed a public hearing at the February 25th meeting at which members of the public commented in support of the proposal. The Planning Commission also reviewed and provided recommendation of approval of the draft 2021 docket list and Planning Commission work program. The Parks Commission did not meet in February. They will meet next March 24th and will discuss strategic planning for pursuing future park projects. We have not had an Economic Development Commission since the chair gave you their update, which included the last meeting. So I didn't have anything to add on the Economic Development Commission report from the last one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excuse me. I just have want to move on and see if we have any other regional committee reports. Mr. Garcia.
Yes, I'd like to report that the Snoqualmie Watershed Forum will hold its regularly scheduled meeting tomorrow, March 17th at 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. virtually, where we will discuss the South Fork Tolt River Large Woody Debris Placement Project, the King County River and Floodplain Management section, and then forum business, which will include a stormwater and its relationship to the Coho discussion.
Thank you. Anyone else have a regional committee report? Okay, Mr. Laudenbach.
The PIC met last week and they discussed the Best Starts for Kids, had a formal presentation, a death by PowerPoint presentation. And the highlight, of course, being that it's going to be a renewal with a 65% increase. And we are still working to determine if there's going to be a impact on subtaxing districts such as the fire service and Sideview Metropolitan Parks, or if they're going to be made whole. We'll get back to you as soon as we hear on that. We also had a legislative update, and the CED committee did indeed see some of the legislation that's going to be impacting the city of North Bend. Specifically Bill 1220 and Bill 5235 are probably the ones that would be the most of concern to us at this point. And those are both having hearings this week in Olympia. So more good news to come on that. That's it, Your Honor.
Hey, Ross.
Yeah.
You want to, talk a little bit about what those bills are and maybe elicit some input from our citizens to call their local representatives to. Well,
I encourage everybody to do a search on those bill numbers in the state of Washington and make sure you're on the 2021 date, because those bill numbers are also duplicated in previous years. But essentially, one of them has to do with mandating ADUs and also dictating the occupancy and the method of ownership and rental and parking that can be associated with those, and putting those into our codes. The other one has to do with taking basically most single family zones and having them mandate that they be allowed to have duplex, triplex, up to fourplex, I believe, and townhouses into all those zones. So materially, it could change our codes and zoning here in the city of North Bend. And I've had several discussions with Mr. Miller about this, and I've also had discussions with Rebecca on this, and she's on top of it. Dave's on top of it. So if anybody wants deep detail after reading the specific bills, I would encourage them. We've reached out to our elected officials in Olympia on this, and I haven't personally gotten a lot of feedback. So, Mary, are you waving your hand?
You're muted, Mary.
No, I'm not waving my hand. Sorry,
Okay.
Ross.
That's all right. It looked like there was some motion going on there. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's about it. So yeah, basically the state is starting to put its nose under the tent on imposing zoning mandates for all cities, all code cities in the state of Washington. So it's something that we all should be concerned about.
Yeah, I would say it seems that there's more bills than I recall in recent history that are, getting into local jurisdictional matters. I would ask, I don't know that legislative update that was written up and shared with CED, if that was circulated to all council, that might be a good thing. Had a nice little summary of the actions. More than Mr. Rosen's blood pressure might go up when you see that. I'd suggest you share that around.
Yeah, Rebecca did a great job on that update. CED's lucky to have her.
Well, I think it's something we
Absolutely.
should message out to our constituents that we're going to lose possibly control of our local planning based on what they want to do. So I hate to put it bluntly as that, but folks, that's exactly what this is.
It really feels like that. I agree. Any other committee, Ms. Cullen?
Ross, could you say the numbers of the bills again? It was 1220 and what was the second one?
5235.
5235. Thank you.
There's a bunch of other ones that are of concern, but those are the two most onerous.
Okay.
Any other regional reports? Okay. I just have a few quick items for good of the order and the public. I wanted to note that Bloodworks Northwest will be holding a pop-up blood drive on March 23rd to 29th at Snoqualmie City Hall. Information about this event, including how to schedule an appointment, is available on the news section of the city's website. The community is invited to attend a virtual public outreach meeting on Monday, March 29th at 6 p.m. related to the new Habitat for Humanity affordable housing project located at East 2nd Street and Janet Avenue in downtown North Bend. This meeting will include information on application qualifications and requirements related to the project, as well as the community application preference period for those residing in 98045 zip code. More information about this meeting, including login information, is also available on the news section of the city's website. On March 22nd, we will move to phase 3 of the COVID Roadmap to Recovery reopening plan. Reopening will also transition from a regional approach to a county by county evaluation process. The new third phase also includes a return to in-person spectators at professional and high school sports. Outdoor venues and businesses will be allowed to increase indoor capacity from 25 to 50%, including restaurants, gyms, movie theaters, and others. Additionally, starting Wednesday, March 17th, everyone in Tier 2 will be eligible for their COVID vaccine. To find out more about Tier 2 eligibility and other vaccine-related information, I encourage all to check out the COVID-19 vaccine resources page that can be found on the link at the top of the city's homepage. In addition to the new COVID-19 resources webpage, the city webpage also features new pages on frequently asked questions related to water, how to report a streetlight outage, transportation-related information on buses, rideshare, and van pool options in the valley. It's part of our continuing effort to continually update how we get information to you. And with that, I want to announce we are going to be moving into executive session. In addition to discussing potential litigation pursuant to RCW 42.30.110(1)(I), we will also be discussing property acquisition pursuant to RCW 42.30.110(1)(B). No action is expected at the end of the session, and we will estimate this to be approximately a 60-minute session and would update if we go longer. At this time, videotaping will cease.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Council concerns and initiatives?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Rob, back up. Sorry, went right over that.
I don't know if anybody has anything to say, but I think just in case they do.
I appreciate that, Mr. Pro Tem. That's the
One screen.
only having one screen. Thank you. Any council member have any things that they wanted to add before we go to executive session?
I guess I will say one thing. I look forward to welcoming the students that feel safe coming back to the schools. I think before the next time we meet, everybody should be have the opportunity to return to school that wants to. And I look forward to those students kind of piecing things back together, getting back to some normalcy. I know that there's been a lot of kids that have really struggled. And so I think this is going to be a good move for those children, and hopefully kind of turn some frowns upside down. I'd like to just wish everybody safe, continued safe well-being as we move through this. We're starting to know more and more people are getting vaccinated. And so just be diligent, stick with it, wear your mask, social distance. Everybody else's turns is coming soon. Ross, I'm going to, and Rosen, I'm going to reflect back to the days of where we might have been spending this coming Saturday 10 years ago. So cheers.
Here.
Thank you. Alan, did I see your hand?
Yeah, the only thing I just wanted to say is, hey, spring's here. Days are longer, more light in the evening. So more people out and about. So be careful, watch everybody, and practice safety among everybody. That's it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Loudenbeck.
Thanks, Chris, for that blast from the past. Of course, for those who weren't familiar with it, we used to gather on St. Patty's Day and do a 5K together. Our most memorable run was on the viaduct in Seattle, and we were doing our best, and we were passed as if we were standing still by Slade Gordon when he was 92 years old. So,
My bias.
he just zipped. He kind of looked over his shoulder at us and started shaking his head. So, I didn't take it personal, but yeah, those days are gone, but still enjoy a happy and safe St. Patty's Day. And if you can, get out and support those local merchants as we roll out, because they could certainly use the business. That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anyone else? I'll just reinforce, hang in there a little bit longer, folks. We keep up the masking, keep up the safe practices. We are getting closer every week to normal, but we're a ways out yet. So please don't let down your guard. All right. And with that, then we will move into executive session as previously stated. Dawn, if you would let any member of the public, along with all but our legal counsels, we have two with us this evening, and executive staff. And Mark, did you want Don DeBerg in this meeting? You're muted.
If he wants to be, he's welcome to listen in.
Okay.
Oh boy, that puts him on the spot. I mean,
We're good.
I don't ever remember Kenyon having her.
I did. No, I did.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for your patience while we were in executive session. It is 8:34. There is no action to be taken. I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Gott, second by Mr. Loudenback. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Any opposed?
Good evening, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.